Look at me. I run the daycare center now.
And who gave you permission?
My boy Tampon Tim, aka the fraud father, gave us the green to open this here quality leering daycare. So we ran with it. The rest is history.
You realize the sign? It spells learning, not leering.
Well, this is the first thing the children learn. They see the sign and we test them with visual aids. This is how we teach.
Wait, I thought that in Minnesota, to be a licensed daycare, you're required to have a 15-square-foot playground within 2,000 feet of the building?
It will pop up tomorrow morning. Don't worry about it.
You have all the documents, right?
There was a break-in, and they stole the documents, unfortunately.
How did they get in?
Well, they broke in through the wall. It was behind the water heater.
Okay, where are the kids, though? I didn't see any kids.
Because it is not our business hour right now.
It was easier to capture the leader of Venezuela than it was to find a kid in these daycares.
What?
So you're saying there's nothing fraudulent happening here?
There is no fraud. Wallahi azim. Zero fraud here. Tell him, baby.
Yeah, I understand fraud is bad.
Abdi, you cheated on me? I'm telling mom.
No. Absolutely ridiculous. Somali daycares get roasted. Let's go.
So this Somalian dude with an IQ of probably 67 thinks that we're all just stupid. So he runs a daycare out in Minnesota. And as soon as the Department of Homeland Security said that they're going to start investigating these daycares because Nick Shirley blew it up, he came out on the news and announced that they had been robbed. Somebody came to their daycare and stole all of their important documents that would show about their employees and their clients. They stole that and their check receipts.
This is no coincidence at all. These people are crooked.
Modern problems require modern solutions, and that's American ingenuity right there.
Okay, Somali Airlines, that was funny.
Somali fraud in Washington.
My decoy went up, and she could hear people rustling around on the other side of the ring camera as if they were listening to her but not responding.
Kristen Magnuson and I also went to this house right after you guys to see if we get the same response, and we sort of did. We saw the same thing, you know, the windows with vinyl covering, can't see inside. We ring the doorbell, but actually somebody responds to us.
Who is it?
Hey, is this Dagash Family Childcare?
No.
The woman says no, but obviously Washington state records tell a completely different story.
Wow, even in Washington, a childcare without kids.
You heard Nick Shirley just got owned.
Okay, Ilhan Omar. Let's hear it.
The owner of the daycare has proof that they are open from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Those are their operating business hours, and Nick Shirley came outside of those hours, which is totally not ethical.
You know, the supposed owner of that daycare, the spokesperson, they have found him in several pictures with the mayor. So I think he works directly for the mayor and has nothing to do with the daycare.
You are so racist. You think all Somalis look the same?
Of course you do. You guys married your cousins and shit. And when cousins are considered options, faces tend to repeat.
What?
Anyway, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., you're willing to go on record with that? Those are the business hours?
Yeah, it's after school care. So, yeah.
Well, Minnesota State Code requires that the daycares receiving that money be available from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. specifically. So in saying that the guy wasn't committing fraud, he went on camera openly for the record admitting that they're committing fraud.
That's, damn it.
And also, I want you to prove that your U.S. citizenship.
Why? Do you know who my father is?
Yeah, your uncle.
That's such a great meme. Trump is the funniest president.
Ask you, does large-scale Somali immigration make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Certainly stronger.
Certainly stronger. Do you know what percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on food stamps?
No.
54%. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
Well, to be clear, a majority of the...
It's 7%. There's a big difference between 54% and 7%, is there not?
Excuse me, sir, could I...
Wow, that's a huge difference. They are abusing the system. That's what I think.
Minnesota millionaires...
We don't need to be pirates anymore. I found a better way. Government-funded daycare. Huh? We must go to Minnesota.
In a world where some rules need to be bent.
Did we spell something wrong?
Who cares? As long as they spell our names right on those $1 million checks.
Based.
Comes the story of triumph.
Remember when we had to illegally steal from innocent people like thugs? But now we're stealing from innocent taxpayers.
Oh!
Just like the government intended. Look at me. I'm the millionaire.
It's a funny post.
I would make a great movie. I would watch that.
Well, the mayor of Minneapolis has a message for ICE.
To ICE, get the f*** Minneapolis.
Okay, I'll bite.
Or else what? No, seriously, Mayor, be specific. What do you plan to do if ICE actually continues to carry out its legal obligations within the city of Minneapolis? You going to call up your police force to do something about it? Because we all know you wouldn't do it personally. No. You would rely upon the police force that people like you regularly denigrate as being sexist, racist, bigoted murderers, right? The sort of institution that you want to defund is now the one you'll probably rely upon to try to push back against ICE. Yeah. Let me go ahead and spell this out for you, big guy. The only thing that leftists really control in this country when it comes down to it is an army of activists that identify themselves by their mental illness. And the rest of us are just tired of indulging you at this point. Yeah, the fatigue has evolved into full-blown exhaustion at this point.
She is just a politician, all talk and no backbone.
Tim Wells, I sold out years ago and I don't give a crap anymore. So you have something to say about the Somalians stealing billions of Medicaid dollars in Minnesota? I do, Steven. I take matters like this very seriously. And when something like this happens, I take action. That's why I'm arresting every person who says I'm retarded. Because I'm not retarded. If I were, would I have gone to college? Well, I think most people who go to college are retarded. Do you have anything to say about the Somalians stealing money, though? Steven, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. But rest assured, I'll get to the bottom of it. For the next 2 weeks, I'll keep my head down and figure out exactly why people think I'm retarded. I can speak on the Medicaid fraud. Oh, Ilhan Omar. You're that Somalian senator who married her brother and is now roped into all this Medicaid fraud. Steven, I did not marry my brother. That would be gross. I married my half-brother. Also, acknowledging Somalians committing Medicaid fraud in Minnesota is racist. That's true, but a crime is a crime. And I swear to the people of Minnesota that when there's a problem, I find solutions. So I will be working tirelessly to prove that I am not retarded. You do know the president is the guy who started all this, right? The president thinks I'm retarded? He's the one who's retarded.
These people can they let all this fraud happen? They are definitely on it. That's what I think.
How bad is this fraud?
This is the worst fraud in human history.
How have Somalians gotten into the system to fraud the American taxpayer?
They have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fraudulent companies set up, and they're sucking billions of dollars out of the state of Minnesota.
Here in Minnesota, potentially the largest fraud to ever happen in America is happening right now, as billions of dollars has been laundered and funneled and given to Somali-ran businesses here inside of Minnesota.
God bless Nick Shirley for doing awesome work out there.
Guy Nick Shirley, why does he gotta hate on our hustle? Of course there's no kids. Of course this business is a complete sham. And of course it's all on the taxpayer dime. I did it because I've got a room temperature IQ. Inbred as f***. My dad's my uncle. I'm dumber than a sack of goddamn potatoes. But Governor Tim says, anyone who accuses me of anything is a white supremacist. So Nick Shirley can kiss my Somali pirate ass.
Whoever made this is genius.
Somalian who said Elon's about to die is exposed as a pre-med student in Missouri. Why am I not surprised? Oh my God, here we go.
People say
like this is fake. I'm like, actually, well, let's look at.
So she's trying to talk about threatening Elon.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about this one. I wouldn't worry too much about him. He about to die.
He about to die. So she go and say he's about to die. So now she's acting like a victim.
If you told me a week ago that my name and Elon Musk's name are being voiced in the same breath, I wouldn't believe you. I was badly misinterpreted and misheard on.
You think you're misinterpreted?
I wouldn't worry too much about him. He about to die.
You're misheard. You're going to insult the intelligence of everybody that's here.
She just threatened Elon and now she's trying to play the victim.
Christy Nome, beautiful woman, tremendous secretary, doing an incredible job. She told me 50% of the visas in Minnesota are fraudulent. 50. That means half the people here aren't even real. They're like Mr. Snuffleupagus. Remember him? Big elephant thing on Sesame Street. Nobody could see him. Or Bing Bong from that movie. We love Bing Bong, by the way. Very sad what happened to him. These people are like that, imaginary, but they're cashing real checks.
That statistic is unverified.
Oh, it's verified, Ilhan. Very verified. Just like it's verified. You're a garbage person. That's right. Garbage. You hate America. You do nothing but complain. You probably even hate America. Ferrera, wonderful actress. By the way, Ugly Betty. She really carried that show. Tremendous talent. But you just complain. Go back to Somalia.
I am an American citizen.
Then act like it. Where's the money? Racist. Why is the building empty? Islamophobia. You've got one trick and it's older than Biden's shoes, which are Velcro, by the way. Can't tie laces anymore. True story. Very high-level people told me this.
Oh my god, this baby Trump is so funny.
How to be a freeloader. I get everything for free while you work 50 hours a week. Ha ha, boo boo. Somalians is taking.
Y'all remember that dude who keeps mocking the American taxpayers and calling them shitty animals because he's living off of government assistance and he's making fun of us for paying for all of his shit? Yeah, so it looks like that's not happening anymore. Here's the police coming to arrest him and hopefully they deport his ass straight back to Somali.
F around, find out.
So before we get into the rather amusing details of this case, let's explore 3 facts about Somali culture that you might not know, but will definitely they're gonna make you want more of them in your community. Fact number 1, pirates are actually fun. Pirates of the Caribbean is one of the most watched films of the past couple decades because people simply enjoy pirates. Here's a fun fact. Children love to dress up as pirates for Halloween, and Minnesota is lucky to have a whole population of people that are actually pirates year-round. It's kind of fun when you think about it, isn't it? And fact 2, a staple in Somali's rich cuisine offering is starvation. It's like Ozempic without the Ozempic. And according to our reports, this type of culinary treat provides a nutritional basis that tends to fuel a rather aggressive desire to redistribute funds of other people to themselves. And Somali fact number 3, this is my favorite. The average IQ in Somalia is 67.7. Now, that is a higher IQ than most farm animals. And while it does fall into the category of mild retardation, which is anything below 70 and above 55, you'd never know it. Why? Because the Somali pirates in Minnesota have set up their own learning centers. Take a look at that.
We headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of their sign.
Yeah, honestly, I think Minnesota is lucky to have all these mildly retarded pirates.
JP is just the best. He makes a big joke, I swear.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Walz is going to jail. Tim Walz just experienced the most catastrophic crash and burn in political history. He announced he won't be seeking re-election after overseeing potentially the largest welfare fraud in American history. And I'll show you a clip from that press conference. He almost breaks down in tears. And just when he thought he could dodge accountability by rage quitting politics, the Department of Justice announced that they are launching criminal investigations into Tampon Tim.
Team Wall is finished. His career is over.
Somalians have a right to steal billions of dollars with fake daycare centers, Donald. That's their culture. I spent a few months in Somalia myself, and do you know what I leered? What, Tim? I leered that Somalians steal money from the government there, too. Tim, I had no choice. Somalians stole $9 billion before you noticed. Oh, right. Like it's so easy to keep track of $9 billion. How am I supposed to watch that many bills at the same time? Besides, I never leered finance. You don't need to know finance to see $9 billion went missing. Yeah, well, not everyone is a leered businessman, Donald. Tim, did you help the Somalians steal money? No. How's everything going, Tim? Is Donald still going to cut the funds? I have a private jet in Layaware, but I have to make the purchase by Friday. I'm still on the phone with him, but he's being stubborn. Alright, give it to me. Donald, it's Ilhan Omar. I'm sorry, who? I'm the Somalian congresswoman who sleeps with her brother and says white people are the devil. Oh yeah. Listen, you can't cut funding to Somalians because they stole a handful of money. That's their culture. Ilhan, are you part of the scheme as well? How dare you ask me that? I would never steal money from taxpayers. I worked really hard to increase my net worth from like $45,000 to over $30 million in 6 years on a $174,000 salary.
I love it when these crooked politicians get exposed. I want my money back now.
Good evening. We're in Minnesota today, where a number of daycare centers are currently under scrutiny for possible fraudulent practices. Myself and some of my fellow colleagues decided to fly over from the UK to investigate further and find out more.
Nearby neighbours say they've never seen any children attending your daycare, and to me it looks like it's an empty dumpster. Do you have any response to these allegations?
Sorry, I don't speak English.
Can I just talk to you and ask you a few questions about possible daycare fraud in Minnesota?
No, I know nothing about this fraud. Please just accept this $10,000 and go away and stop asking questions.
Some people are claiming the super good daycare doesn't actually have any children attending, despite claiming 2 million.
Super good daycare. Look at how they spell it. Crazy.
$1 in taxpayer money last year. Any comments?
That is not correct. We currently have 34 students here. Come with me and I will open the door and show you them now. Oh no, the door has now been locked from the inside by one of the workers. This was done to keep the children safe. Do you understand? You can go home now. Okay, goodbye.
I'm just going to ask you one question. Are you and your daycare business committing fraud?
No, of course not. You only say this because you are a racist.
You've been accused of fraud, sir. Do you have any documentation of the children that attend your daycare centre or any employment records to prove your innocence?
Unfortunately, we suffered an arson attack yesterday from some MAGA extremists who broke into our building and set fire to all our documents.
I'm sorry to hear that. Your building doesn't look like it's been damaged by fire, though. Whereabouts did this very suspicious arson attack take place?
They broke in, stole the papers from the building, and then they set fire to them in that oil drum over there. As you can see, the fire is still burning.
I don't understand.
See, their videos are getting better and better, and I love it.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz had a meltdown about the increasing calls for him to resign. Just a heads up, this feels less like governor addressing concerns and more like uncle after 3 beers at Thanksgiving.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. It ain't happening. I'm not going anywhere. And you can make all your requests for me to resign over my dead body. Will that happen? I will fight this thing till the very end to make this state better. And the question that I think they need to decide is when did the guy in the White House resign?
That was not a resignation speech. It was a hostage negotiation with himself. Walz said that he's not going anywhere, which is what people say right before they do.
Honestly, Tim Walz, he should be ashamed of himself after all this fraud.
Dude, those nicknames are brutal. He will assassinate a political opponent with one nickname. These people can't even recover from these. Tampon Tim, you can't recover from Tampon Tim. And now it's retard Tampon Tim. He's done. That guy's done. He called him a retard. People are driving by his house 24/7. Yeah, Tim's a retard. He's killed him.
His career is definitely over now. He has no future.
My small business just received a federal grant for $1 million. Yeah. It's a Somali daycare.
Of course.
It's based in Minnesota. I'm sorry, I'm trolling. They already gave all the money to Israel. So apparently fraud is running rampant in Minnesota, which is shocking when you see that their governor looks like he always just woke up. Every photo of Tim Walz, he's like, it's like, it looks like you just told him that fraud is happening. He's like, fraud? Yes, Coach Walz, please. Apparently this fraud has been going on for a very long time, which almost makes you think the government knows about it, but nah, our government would never be in on fraud.
That would never happen, obviously.
Like they know they're not supposed to be here and they've been brought under fraudulent pretexts. This whole thing, something's gonna go down because I'm telling you, you're pushing the white man. And there's only so far you could push the white man. That or we're done. I do want to get into a few clips because Nick has done a really great job putting this video together. So I really encourage everybody to go ahead and watch this, Let's look at some of the clips. Here's an example.
So I was watching the most recent video by Nick Shirley exposing these daycare centers. Now, they're going daycare to daycare, and the next one that they go to is called Sweet Angel Childcare. This is where they show up to. And this is the business right here. Sweet Angel Childcare.
The office of Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. Our office is located at 130 State Capitol at 75 Reverend.
Oh my God.
We found another one, guys. Completely fraudulent. Why am I not surprised?
Congresswoman Omar, any thoughts on the massive fraud going on in Minnesota?
Well, what I will say is that some people somewhere did something to someone. We don't know the details, and we're not going to jump to conclusions about such a thing. All I know is that in Minnesota somewhere, some people did something to someone.
Okay, and can you tell me how your husband's venture capital firm made millions of dollars?
Well, what I can tell you is that someone, somewhere, made some amount of money with something in some business to some people who were involved with other people. But we don't know any details, and I'm not going to speculate.
This is the best impression I've seen in a long time. Actually, hilarious.
I was a little late getting here because I dropped off my daughter at this brand new Somali daycare. It was awesome. No kids there, just two dudes driving Bugattis. She is thriving there. She won Student of the Month. All she did was misspell learning. All right, I can tell who's terminally online. The only time I see kids there are when they bring their child brides.
Oh, this joke might actually go too far. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and click right there to watch the next one. Bye-bye.